Kool-Aid, a drink of many colors and flavors. But is there really a difference between the flavors? Well, we had that question and we want to know the answer.
So...
I'm going to be blindfolded. He's going to mix up these glasses. I'm going to be ear-folded too.
Yeah, as if that does anything. So just some backstory.
We don't need it.
No, just so you know, this Kool-Aid has no sugar added.
No sugar Kool-Aid versus water.
Is the flavor in your head just because it's sweet and purple? Does it really taste like grape?
In other words, is the flavor in Kool-Aid just the sugar? Is Kool-Aid packet literally just food dye? That's what we're about to find out.
Okay, so you want me to mix them up then, so you don't know which is...
La 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 la, I can't hear, I can't tell where the cups are going. I don't know what's happening. I can't see.
I myself have forgotten which order they were in already at this point because I've been so distracted.
Hey, be careful. I feel like you're about to spill them.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I'll start with this one. That's grape Kool-Aid. Yeah, it is. Yep, it tastes like grape. Yep.
But like how faint grape? Because the 1/3 sugar we made a week ago.
You know what? I could actually smell it more than I could taste it. I could smell it.
Really?
You
should have covered your nose.
As soon as I picked up the cup.
No, you know what? Yeah, we're going to mix them again. Cover your nose. Like pinch your nose shut.
Okay.
Or, well, I don't know.
Not breathe it
Yeah,
through
just
my
do
nose.
that. Just do like I'm doing.
I just breathe it through my nose. La 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 ooh, la 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 la.
Okay, bro, go.
Okay, not breathe again through my nose.
Nose.
Where's the first cup? Am I near it? Okay, here we go. Okay, tastes like water. Yeah, it tastes sour. It's actually sour.
It tastes sour?
Now that I don't have the smell, this one is more sour than this one.
It's sour.
It's sour.
Sour grape.
That was the only way I could tell that time. The first time I could just smell the grape already before I drank it. That time, as soon as it hit my tongue, it was sour. So it's definitely sour.
But would you even call it grape flavor?
From what I just tasted without the smell, no, it was just like sour drink.
So all the sweet comes from the sugar. It's like grape minus sweet.
Yeah, it's just like sour. It's just like drinking a sour drink of some kind.
Great. Now to finish off this
like
regular
lemonade.
Kool-Aid.
It tastes kind of like lemonade. Actually, that's exactly
Lemon?
It tastes exactly
It's
like
lemonade.
It tastes like lemonade.
Dude, that's crazy. You want to promote your merch?
Buy my merch at Ounce Clothing on Instagram.
Hey, I'm the bro host.
And I'm the co-host, and we're outside.
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome to the Outside Podcast.
Yeah. Nice. Can't stop gaming for 1 second.
Okay, that was a bit, but welcome to the episode of the podcast where we annoy our neighbors for an hour.
Welcome to the episode of the podcast where we finally do what we said we were going to do several podcasts ago.
Which is
during the
outside.
During the most dangerous time possibly imaginable to
Corona.
do so.
This is
Corona
irony,
season.
guys.
Pre-recording stretches complete. What?
Vultures.
Vultures! The vultures mistook you for a corpse.
It's not that dangerous though, because we're
in the middle
we're
of
not
nowhere.
socially distanced from each
We live in the
other,
middle
but
of
we're
nowhere,
socially
USA.
distanced from everybody else in society, I guess. I mean, there's neighbors, but we're definitely 6 feet away from them or more.
Yep.
So,
It's a beautiful day. I'm sure you can hear the birds.
You can actually hear the birds. I'm surprised they're still out. Since
I
it's
wanted
6
to go a bit
o'clock.
earlier.
6:30.
The wind was blowing. You could hear our wind chimes, but right now there's not really any
Well,
wind.
it's good that there's not a lot of wind, because that'll mess up the audio quality.
Well, no, you've got your now
This is like-
butchered, cut-up sock hole
Yeah, you'd still
that goes
hear the
over
wind,
the
though.
microphone.
You'd still hear some of it.
Here, I'll make my own wind.
But, yeah, no, this is a really good time to record. There's surprisingly a lot of birds chirping.
Yeah, it's
I
like
did
they
not
started up
expect
when
it
we came in.
At this time, for there to be that many birds chirping, considering it is in the evening at this point.
You sound pretty hyped up for someone who, with today being no exception, seems to always get sick whenever we do a podcast. Would you
I think
like
the
to
last
jump
time we
into
did
anything?
a podcast, I was sick, wasn't I?
There were
it was
like at
Christmas.
least 2 other times.
It was Christmas.
Yeah, it was
I think,
Christmas
that I was
and then
sick.
that one time before.
So this is the 3rd episode where I've been sick. But I bet you didn't even notice. But there's
Because he can fake hype like nobody else. Because he's a Uber.
There's a
He's
bigger
YouTuber.
illness at hand, guys. That's
Jason's
the lead
common
into
cold.
today's only topic that we have. Oh, no, okay, apparently we have a list of topics.
Oh, well,
but
what's your topic that you were leading
the
into?
Big Mac Daddy... The greater illness. You can use context clues.
The greater illness. Pardon me, I'm stupid.
Corona.
Oh, I thought, no, but you said corona and then... No,
Yeah,
okay,
I
you meant
did.
greater than your own illness. I thought you were saying greater than corona. I was like, what?
Yeah, my
Funny
common
fact,
cold is so
funny
bad.
fact, 2 days ago, or 2 nights ago, I guess, I had a dream that another outbreak of some disease came out right in the midst of this, and like people's faces were melting off and stuff. It was scary.
That's cool, crazy.
And then I woke up and I was like, oh, thank goodness. And for a second, you had that feeling where
really loud.
Who cares?
But this is what I'm talking about, annoying our neighbors. I mean, I know no one's out.
They're
right
all isolating themselves. They're in quarantine.
now. You in a room with no boundaries. You just get
I
louder. and
woke
louder
up
in
and I
volume.
had that feeling where it was like, it's all a dream. Thank goodness. But it stretched so far that for a second I thought Corona was a dream too. And I was like, oh, there's no Corona. Thank goodness.
You know what?
And I was like, oh no, that part's real.
I don't want to say that this is true because I feel like this is like, I guess, borderline Mandela effect. But I think I actually, although I pretty much completely forgot it now, had a dream very similar to yours.
Yeah, we're always together in our dreams. You were in
Either-
that dream, bro.
Either it was another illness, or
I don't
just
remember what
that
you were doing.
Corona got worse, or had like different symptoms, like scary, like nightmare
Yeah.
stuff, like yours. I don't know if that's true or if you're just like placing false memories somehow, but
We
what
could
do you-
go into. I had another weird dream
Before
the
we
night
get
after, but
into-
you weren't in it, so you probably wouldn't remember it.
before we get
didn't
into
sync up.
Corona and our thoughts and opinions, and the state of things. There's a car. Oh, that's an old car.
it's
that's our neighbor's
Like a
who collects
maroon
old cars.
What do you call that kind of car? Little
Anyways,
jalopy.
cheers to that guy. Before we get into our thoughts and feelings and current events, by the way, today is March 16th.
But
this
it's
will
good. You're
going
going to be
up
seeing this on St.
day
Patrick's
later,
Day.
so who
So
knows?
happy St. Patty's Day.
And
hopefully.
good luck. Good
Good
luck
luck.
to you. Don't get the coronavirus.
Oh my goodness.
Wherever
Watch
you are.
Corona be
This
cured
is such
tomorrow.
a uniting thing because normally something like this, I feel like, oh, you know what? Well, this doesn't really pertain to everybody, but this pertains to everybody.
Good luck.
It's an international,
Good luck.
worldwide affair. But before we get into that, as I was saying, first of all, I'm gonna take. Nice.
It's old
He
man
just honked at us.
Jenkins in his jalopy.
He just honked at us. I wonder if he did that for fun or if he actually saw us.
He just likes
I'm
the
gonna
way that
drink.
old-fashioned
I'm gonna
horn
drink
sounds.
some celebratory Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid, which
The
you
same
can see
that
on
I
my
drew-
desk right
yeah.
now. And John's gonna lead us into our first topic that isn't Corona. You have to stay tuned for the Corona.
Oh, so you're doing the classic throw me the torch thing?
Yeah, teasing.
Okay.
I'm teasing.
I
the
almost
Corona
want to
as well.
talk about what you've been up to. Usually secluded in your room playing games. Now you're suddenly back to making a game.
Yeah, so I can talk about that. Basically, YouTube. I go through cycles where I'm like,
I go through cycles, man.
yeah, dude,
Yeah, dude.
I'm accidentally. You're repeating everything. I'm actually making ASMR
Stop
with
lolling
this.
and I'll
with
stop
this,
repeating.
With this.
This like
plastic
bathrobe for
covering
your
thing.
cover for your Kool-Aid.
For my Kool-Aid cup. I go through like cycles where I'm like, dude, YouTube, I love it. I'm gonna do it. And then cycles where I'm like,
I don't
dude,
think I'll do a WoW this week. Is that what that was
and
about?
all the weeks that I've missed so far, aside from this upcoming one, which I probably won't have a video in time, and that, I mean, I totally had time to, but all the other weeks before, it was a matter of I straight up didn't have time because I'm taking 3 AP classes in high school, and I kind of, Oh, and I'm in a musical which has rehearsal until 5:30, so I kind of actually
Was in a musical.
don't have time at all, realistically, to make YouTube videos. I even went down to once a week, and I still didn't have time for that all the time. But all of that's thrown out the window with Corona, no school, well, no physical school. Musical is not going to happen because, well, you can't have, at least in North Carolina, in our state, the governor banned any meetings or gatherings of surplus
It
of
went from
100
100, then they were like saying 50, and now they're saying don't even go with 10.
Trump said 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the board of directors.
Eventually they're going to say 2, and then the police are going to bust us, seeing us sitting out here together. They're just going to, like, pull up in hazmat suits
Every
so that they
single
don't get
person in
contaminated.
America find us. You find your cubic.
Go to your designated hole
Find
and
your
bury
acre.
yourself alive.
Everybody gets an acre, and you do not move off that acre. No sharing food. If your acre doesn't have food to begin with, I mean, I'm sorry. There's like seeds and stuff on the ground. Hopefully in your acre, maybe
Eat
you can
dirt.
start a farm. Really rough it. The people who got to claim the acre that their
Corona
house is
Plan
in,
B. Plan eat dirt.
But yeah, so basically, I didn't
You're
have
in a
time
new
to make
phase.
a YouTube video, and then the next one that I made was like kind of not that great because I didn't have that much energy in it because I'm just thinking about how much other stuff I have to do at this point in time. But I want to continue making YouTube videos. And then it just goes back to the same thing of, like, I feel like I get absolutely nowhere. Even when the quality of my videos increase, it's just complete stagnation, just absolutely nothing. No views, no subscribers. I mean, I've seen a steady increase, and it has been a little higher, I'll admit, in, like, the past month. But it's so negligible. I mean, it's barely, I gained, like, 20 subscribers in the past 6 months, maybe? Like, that's just sad. And my most viewed videos are still the ones that I've made years ago, just because for some reason they still get recommended. And it's
Still
just
questioning
really
to delete
depressing.
them?
And it just makes me want to channel my effort into other outlets that I also enjoy. And
He's going back to programming.
other things, usually it's prompted by other things, like if I play a game that like an indie game especially, and I'm like, man, I love indie games, I could make an indie game. And then I start programming a game, and then
And before you know it, there are squares colliding with other squares, and you feel like you've accomplished so much.
And before you know it, I get bored of that, or maybe YouTube becomes prevalent again, and I decide I want to do that again. Really, my interests just cycle a lot, and it's not that I ever drop them, but I just change what I put effort into, and I pretty much just go all in on something at once, or not at all.
Jack of all trades
So-
and a master of none. You'll never be able to settle down
Well,
in one
that's
thing.
I'm like a jack of all trades and a master of
That's
only...
me too,
Master
except
of only one at a time, and it changes a lot, and I never have gotten success yet. Not that I expect to be like successful in making a full
you're an
game.
indecisive master. I'm a unskilled jack.
It would be
That's what
great
we
if
are.
I just had time to put like max effort into everything, but obviously 100% is the limit, and if I can't give more than 100% of my effort to... I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense anymore. Basically, I can't put max effort into everything
our
at
quota
once.
for random YouTube or personal life related ranting is fulfilled.
Is fulfilled. You
and we can move on.
But you're the one who brought this up. This is your fault. You
I
asked
know.
me to talk
I
about
feel
myself.
bad. I
and I'll
doomed
do
this
it
podcast
forever.
from the start. I actually wanted to start off talking about me because, in case you haven't noticed, I have no reason to be doing one of these right now. But I am because schools are canceled.
And college, Jonathan's depression, Jonathan's life sucks. Rant start now.
No, I'm just gonna say college got canceled over my extended spring break. Well, now extended.
Not canceled though. That's the thing.
Canceled for a week, and then they're moving online.
And then you have school.
And so I have a rare opportunity to actually do one of these that I kind of would have felt guilty if I didn't take advantage of. So don't expect any more because I'm just gonna go back to being enslaved into college
I
online.
knew you'd say that. I knew you were gonna say.
I have to show the gravity of the situation. It's not so much how I feel all the time. It's just the fact that I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Well, once you graduate, your degree will be a slave to you in getting jobs. So
The degree will be my slave?
yeah,
Ooh, I become the master.
yeah.
Bring it on.
Of no trades though.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring it back.
Degrees are worthless. Moving on. What's our next topic other than?
Well, I was
personal
gonna
stuff?
say.
You made a good point. 11 minutes in, and we haven't talked about anything interesting. Wow, they're all gone.
I was going to say, you know what? Yeah, we can stretch this out. I'll move that to the end. The first thing that
Grape Kool-Aid, as we.
I was
switch
going to say,
subjects.
going back into Corona, all the things
Hopefully
that
not.
got canceled, all the things that got canceled. Your play got canceled, and I'm sad about that. You finally got your short, like, one line of singing.
I got to sing one line in the show. Oh, excuse me. Grape Kool-Aid really does it to you, man. I got one line to sing, and Jonathan's bummed that he's never gonna get to hear that.
Yes. Well, except I heard you singing it to yourself in our room just now.
I was singing all the show. I just keep singing all of the music.
I've been telling this man he needs to do a one-man performance for the family.
It's so.
We record it and put it on his YouTube channel.
It's so out of genre for my channel. It makes no sense.
That's what you need right now, dude. You need a slap in the face to all the, like, 9-year-old Fortnite players.
I'm crafting an
cluster
idea.
around
I'm
you.
crafting an idea
There's
for
a
that.
crusty shell of, like, crummy
You know what? I had an
toddlers
idea for that.
wrapped
But guess
around
what?
your channel.
It involved going to
like a hard shell burrito.
Oh my goodness, can I talk? Can you stop talking about Fortnite 9-year-old? Can you? Why are you comparing 9-year-olds to like a hard-shelled burrito wrapped around me?
Because that's what I do for a living.
You totally just interrupted me to say that, and that was
You're interrupting
that
yourself.
was worthless.
Get going.
I am, but I don't want to breeze past how stupid that was. What you just said. You interrupted me for that joke. I'm trying to shame you.
Okay. We always gotta have one of those.
Anyways, see now I forgot what I was talking about because that your stupid analogy took up too much of my mental.
Talking
power.
about your play getting canceled.
Yeah, no, it was about I had an idea, or I had the roots of an idea for a YouTube video, but it involved buying something from a store, and I'm not sure that's the best idea right now.
Budget $0.
No, well that's the last reason. The other reasons were
That's my reason. I wouldn't
the
buy
store
anything.
shelves might be empty. Coronavirus.
You're right. I forgot, dude. Well, I was just thinking, if I had a YouTube channel,
And
I
your
wouldn't
budget,
buy anything.
Your budget
for
is
it.
like $300 in Christmas money that's stockpiled over the years.
No, because I'm not willing to spend any of it. Because it's going towards future expenses. That's
like what?
That's one game console. It's not as much as you
Your
think.
8-bit audio mixing table.
Yes.
Oh, great.
This is my passion. I'm a musician. But what I was going to say is the first thing that really shocked me when people started like canceling or adjusting or changing everything for Corona is that E3 is canceled now.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
And,
outrage. That was outrage.
It seemed
on
to
the
have
internet.
sparked a discussion about how E3 is becoming increasingly irrelevant as like Nintendo and them all start doing their digital presentations, and as like
PlayStation State of Play.
yeah, they have their own. It's not as good, but like the only reason to go now is just if you like going to conventions. And the game company that I'm currently working for, they were going to go to the East Coast Game Convention.
I mean, I kind of disagree.
Which is surprisingly not canceled yet, and may not be canceled. And I'm not sure if I want to go because I don't know how much Corona might be concentrated there.
Well, they probably will cancel it if things don't get better by that time. When
Probably.
Is it?
It's April. It's in the teens of
Oh,
April.
that's getting canceled.
No, it's April
probably.
7th or 8th, I think.
That's probably gonna get canceled. That's probably unless something
Yeah.
really changes. But I kind of
Everyone
disagree because
on my team is on board though. They're like, yeah, let's go.
I get that E3 is.
They were like planning it way ahead of time.
I get that E3 has just become I guess like an unnecessary middleman in a sense.
Yeah.
But I think it brings its own benefits as just being a certain event that they all, like they could all do their independent presentations, but it's just one event that brings them all together, and it sparks a lot of sometimes hurtful and negative, but sometimes I guess more playful or competitive discussion between the different companies and what they have to offer.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of just like ratting on Bethesda in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
but hey,
And
that's
of course,
funny,
E3
in
is
my
for all
opinion.
electronics. It's not just games.
But we don't care about those.
We're teams.
So
That's what we
moving
get
on.
hyped about. But also, I bring it up with games, and I especially mention Nintendo with their like direct presentations because have you heard everybody like freaking out about the direct drought? How there hasn't been
No.
a You haven't. I'm surprised you haven't.
When was the Animal Crossing one? That wasn't too long ago.
They're looking for a non-game specific direct. We haven't had a general direct.
Oh.
I don't know how many days it's been, but it is the longest time since directs were invented.
Maybe they're finally making Metroid Prime 4, DK Country 4, Pikmin 4,
But that's the thing is, everyone's freaking out, and then they're going into these speculative tunnels. Apparently there's been, like, a ton of leaks for stuff that I don't think any of them are real.
Yeah, that's what happens when the Nintendo 4chan community gets bored, Jonathan.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, obviously some people are buying into them, and they're going mad because there just hasn't been a direct in so long.
Absolutely mad, absolutely mental.
And I guess I sort of noticed, but I'm forced to digest content at such a slow rate because of everything else I got going on that to me it's almost a blessing when this stuff gets like postponed. I don't want to have more games to buy my interest with. You know, I just finished Super Mario Odyssey this weekend. I've had that for so long.
3 years.
Still haven't finished Luigi's Mansion 3.
3
Both
years.
great games.
And instead you choose to spend your free time not playing the game. I mean, you could be playing the games, but...
Nah, because my parents get me in trouble when they find out I'm having too much fun.
John, if you spent all the time that you spend making music, playing games, then you would have already finished Luigi's Mansion 3.
I wouldn't have as much music. See, dude, I've got a problem.
Well, if that's how you weigh your...
I refuse to... Whenever I have an idea, I jot it down. I have a document that's full of thousands of pages of ideas. Most of them are just single lines of text that I know I can elaborate on. I'm terrified of the idea of losing a good idea, or any idea that has any value. And any time a tune pops in my head, I have to do something with it. And more often than not, I'm glad that I did. And so I get bored and I play a few notes on the piano. I have to put it down. I start whistling a tune I made up to myself. I wasn't even trying. I was just bored. I have to put it down.
You have approximately there's 4 possibilities for your life. The first possibility is that in a couple of years or throughout the course of a couple of years, I guess, you lose interest in the whole music stuff and it becomes more irrelevant.
I will never lose interest in art of all forms.
No, but making it, and specifically just the stuff that you currently do. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. It's a possibility. It is a possible outcome. There's 3 more. Wait for them. The second one is you carry it to your grave, but you're disappointed by it because you ultimately did nothing with it, and it just became a signifier of all of the lost time that you could have done other stuff. Third option... Oh, sorry. My brain was thinking in arrays, so I almost said second for the third. Third option...
0th option.
...is that you take it to your grave and you're happy about it, and you're happy that you, I guess, followed your passion, even if it didn't get you anywhere. Fourth option is either it got you somewhere or you died, and later on a historian found this random guy's music and called him like a Renaissance musician of whatever Renaissance era we're in right now, and you somehow become in history books as a musician. I think that one's the least likely.
You think I haven't already considered this? That's actually you may have just read my mind a little bit. And I'm scared.
My life goal is actually just to fossilize all of the work that I've done throughout my life.
Dude, I'm totally prepared to give all of my works to you.
That's
and
so selfish.
Tell you to just run with them if I do get corona and die.
That's so selfish though. If your goal is
it's because I need to share this stuff with the world. I don't even care if you credit me.
Wow, that's more
selfish. Except then people will be all expecting more from you, and you'll be like, I didn't even make this.
Thinking that your music that you make is so good that it's your duty to have the whole world exposed to it?
No, the world is better with art, even if the art isn't the best art in the world. More art is more good. It's entertainment.
Yet you refuse to let anybody listen to your songs or put them on Bandcamp or anything, or Spotify or anything.
Because I get judged for incomplete works, and I spoil things that are supposed to be grand.
Next topic.
Next
topic, please.
Next topic.
I spoil things that are supposed to be grand.
Okay, you can keep making fun of me. Okay, here's something. The oldest topic that I have on here is Super Bowl ads, because obviously it's been so long that is something that happened.
Baby Planters Peanut.
Dude, I freaked out just because I thought it was crazy that they did a crossover with the Kool-Aid Man.
I'm drinking him.
Yes, but apparently people hated that ad because
babies.
Yeah, because it was just like catering to like the trend of
Ice
like
Age
baby mascots.
Ice Age baby will die.
I don't know if there's any logical reason to get that upset about something, but I do hate lazy marketing. I guess I just wanted to say that there's like different perspectives to it. If you don't care that much, then just be hyped that the Kool-Aid Man showed up in a crossover with Mr. Clean of the Planters Peanut Guy.
I like the build up way more than I like the end result.
Well, no, because people got upset about that too. Because the build up was that the Peanut Man. What is his name? Is he just the Peanut Guy?
Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut.
Yeah,
he died
and Kobe died. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, and then they actually put their advertising on hold.
Yeah, that's not a reason to get upset about it. That's not in their control.
Exactly, but people did get upset because they were like...
Okay, well, that's completely irrelevant because, first of all, I didn't even ask for anybody else's input. I was giving mine. And second, that's completely irrelevant to whether or not the advertising is good just because of an unfortunate bad timing that wasn't even in their control.
I think certain people just rose up and because of the
Okay, well, I don't care about them. What I'm saying is I like the build-up, and I thought it was like a funny... It was almost like a meme, the way they formatted that first video where he dies. Like, it was hilarious to me. And I really liked the build-up, but I didn't expect, I guess, a baby peanut. But it also just seems, like, stupid. I mean...
What I was going to say is...
In my opinion, I liked the build-up, I liked where it was leading, and I was kind of let down by whatever.
Well, I knew they weren't
going
to kill him, at least in spirit.
Well, duh. That's why the build-up was interesting. I wanted to see what was going to happen. But, and even if it was a baby peanut, whatever, he comes back as a baby.
See, I wasn't upset about that because I thought they were just going to move on after that. They didn't even give him a baby voice. He was just an adult. And I thought the next thing he's just going to be an adult again. But now they did kind of, what's the word? They did kind of milk it a little.
Oh, no, it's still, like, going on their Twitter.
I know, that's why I'm disappointed only now. I was not initially disappointed. But what I was going to say is I think it made some people realize, maybe using death, fictional or otherwise, as a marketing campaign is a dumb idea. Because it's a real thing that is obviously a weighted topic. But, I get that. I thought, Avengers, they used death as a plot point. Tony Stark died, and everyone was like, oh my goodness.
Jonathan, you have to put a spoiler warning.
No one cares anymore. But, why is it okay to use it in entertainment but not in marketing if neither one is meant to be taken seriously, at least down to that point? It seems a bit hypocritical. No one got upset about that.
Well, because I don't think that in movies they're in any way making light of death.
I think part of it is that people assume that the people behind the marketing don't have entertainment in mind. They're not thinking, oh, wow, this will be entertaining. This will make people get interested in us because we made something neat. They think this will get people's attention and then they'll buy our product, which, is obviously the point of marketing. But I guess I kind of like to think that some people who make advertisements just think, hey, this will be funny.
It's the difference in making an entertaining movie versus...
because people make movies to make money, too.
Versus using death as a leverage to sell your peanut-based products.
You see iDubbbz's video where he, counted the peanuts in the Planters mixed peanuts?
No. I did not. What? Is there something funny
I just thought it was funny.
Well, anyway... Anyways, yeah, I don't know.
I just am listening to the squirrels rustling around in the leaves.
Yeah, look at this authentic nature, guys. These birds have been chirping. You think it's like a 1 hour loop of birds chirping? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say though.
Authentic birds chirping.
This is my favorite kind of day. When it's overcast.
Yeah, it could be warmer.
The sky is like a light bluish gray. It's hardly even blue. The clouds filter out the sun evenly in all directions, and there's hardly any shadows.
Now our neighbors know it too.
It's beautiful. No. It's my favorite. It's like living on a blank piece of paper.
The sky could be a bit more saturated, a bit more blue, a little bit brighter. The sun specifically, it's too cloudy. I would like more sun.
I like clouds,
and I would like it if it was more room temperature. I guess not so cold, because. It's not super cold, but
it was
it's
colder
chilly.
the day. It was warmer the day we were gonna do this originally.
What's our next topic? I'm almost out of Kool-Aid, so I'm saving it.
Hold on. I put all of my notes in code, so only I can read them. But then I forget my code.
Okay, let's make a funny bit out of trying to decipher your code.
No, let's just move on to talking about the Sonic movie
let's
that we
read
haven't
whatever
watched.
it is. What? Wait, what are you? YouTube ads are the worst?
I was gonna go on a rant.
Wow.
But I save rants for the end.
Okay, PDP byte F, P is less than -M, ounce running. Definitely not Papa John's Day of Reckoning.
That's so left
Didn't
over.
we already talk about it?
I don't delete things until we talk about them, which means stuff stacks up.
We did talk about it, I
Oh,
thought.
well, we didn't talk about the CFO of Domino's Pizza died in a mysterious drowning accident, and people were like connecting dots. You never heard about that?
No.
You didn't?
And then the chief financial operator, you said?
Yeah, and then a local pizza place's owner got arrested for having illegal stuff.
Holy cow.
And people were saying the reckoning has come, and it went all crazy.
Oh, what do you mean by illegal stuff? You mean
pictures of
children?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
So obviously he deserves that, but the CFO, it was the CFO of a certain section of Domino's. I believe it was the CFO. It was some C something.
Well, in one case, justice
it was
is
a
served.
snorkeling accident, and he was with his family, but at some point he randomly separated, and then they just found him drowned later. It was like the most sketchy thing ever.
Well, that's sad. The other one is justice, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't
want. Death is sad.
It's at this point it goes without saying because I think everybody's already forgotten. But he shouldn't be like shrouded by conspiracy theories.
It would be funny if Papa John's just publicly came out and said, "Yes, I did expose this guy. The other guy, unrelated, did not mean to kill him." Hey, the universe just works like it does, baby.
I thought you heard about that.
We're eating pizza tonight.
Yes, but our mom is making it on artisan flatbread. I hit the microphone.
Papa John's might kill us. So our next topic is P is less than -M, as Jonathan has
I completely forgot that one. Why
didn't you write like a normal human then?
But the one two above it that I remember.
Poop is less than -moop.
All I know is that the less than minus is actually supposed to be a left-facing arrow.
I hate the fact
it's supposed to be a left-facing arrow.
I hate the fact that if somebody asked me to say the first word that I can think of that starts with the letter P, I'd say poop.
I mean...
Portal.
You're probably not the only one. What would I say?
Pun.
Pink.
Pink?
Powder. I've just been making so much Kool-Aid. It's on the
Purple
mind.
powder.
Purple powder.
I don't know. Poop just seems like such a simplistic word. Moving on.
I'm gonna have to make a timestamp for this.
I don't want to analyze like semantics, but I just thought it was kind of.
The Sonic movie did well, dude.
Wait, we didn't see it, so we.
It's
can't
doing
really
better
talk.
than the Detective Pikachu.
We should have watched it.
I know, but just from hearing stuff people said about it.
Well,
it sounds incredibly okay.
Doing
like
better
some people
financially, but from what I've heard, it's a mediocre movie. So Detective Pikachu as a movie might be better. But I think it got so much free advertising through the whole character redesign.
Yes.
And I think that's another reason why it was a smart move that they did that. But I think that it's doing financially better, but is it a better movie? We can't give you that answer because we haven't watched it yet. But on the next podcast,
I want to say why I'm interested in it. Because, for one, it goes more with, like, the main storyline. Like, Detective Pikachu was like an offshoot of a spin-off. It was like a reimagining of a spin-off game that nobody even remembers. Sonic is literally just Sonic. I mean, it's kind of weird because it's in the real world and stuff, but so are the games. Sometimes. It's inconsistent weirdness. But, I mean, I like the casting. I like Jim Carrey as Eggman, as everyone in the world has already said. And I actually want to see it. I don't think I'm going to be blown away, but I do think I'm going to be interested, and I do think it's going to sustain my interest.
You know what's cray? It feels like it's been an
so
hour.
much so that I've actually... I hate to say this because it's cringy, but I've been mildly into Sonic recently, to the point where YouTube has been recommending like videos related to it to me.
Oh, that and all the anime. Moving on.
Yes, anime. It won't stop showing me anime.
We're
like
at
anything
the
that has any sort of
half-hour
niche.
mark. Well, we're actually past the half-hour mark for you, but for us, we just hit it. Even though it feels like it's been at least 2 hours. I have to pee. I want to sleep. I want to eat pizza. But we have half of the podcast left to go. So, moving right along, I don't have any comments about it other than what I said. We could talk about Corona for at least 20 minutes, so let's just talk a bit more.
The only other thing on here that I remember talking about
why don't you rant?
that isn't a major topic.
Why don't you rant?
Dude, I hate
rant
YouTube.
About YouTube
I hate
ads.
YouTube ads. I hate YouTube ads
Here we go.
so much.
I will give you the torch full.
Okay.
Full torch.
I'm
full
popping
torch.
my knuckles.
I'm lighting out my
match.
match.
So it's just expected from me now that every video
starts off. Jonathan, our neighbors were just out walking their dogs, so there are people outside now. So you're gonna have to keep it down. I don't want to be known as the guy who lives with the guy who screams outside at his laptop about YouTube ads. So just keep it at a reasonable
We should just
volume.
put up a sign that says we're doing a podcast, so it seems slightly more normal. I just
the bird
expect
stopped. The bird.
that's because they don't want to listen to me anymore.
Go ahead.
Every time I watch a YouTube video now, if it's anything more than like a minute long, I expect just totally 2 ads at the start,
loud.
2 ads at the end, and at least 1 ad in the middle. And at least 2 of those 5 ads are going to be like 30 seconds long, unskippable. It just keeps getting worse. I think they just realize that I watch YouTube a lot, and so they like, this guy watches a lot, let's give him ads, he's going to watch
I was
them
about
ads.
to say
It's
that.
price discrimination.
I was about to say that because I don't watch YouTube that frequently, and I do, and when
At least I stopped getting political advertisements.
And when I do, it's typically, I would say I watch for longer sessions when I'm on my laptop, because I'm usually, if I'm on my laptop, that means I'm sitting down, don't have anything to do. But I guess I probably will end up consuming more on my phone, or at least visiting more on my phone, because it's, wherever I am. So it could be in any situation, even if it's just for like 5 minutes watching something. And I stopped, for the most part, I stopped getting double pre-roll ads. And I think when I do, it's only on desktop. So I think they actually do that because people on their phones, they know, will literally close out of a video if there's 2 ads because they literally can't wait that long. Because,
Well, I sit through it because, odds are you might just get the same ads again anyways, even if you refresh or something.
Because our society, I'm saying they won't even watch it. Because they're so
that's
used
dumb.
to being able to consuming 60 separate TikToks in the span of at least
Oh my goodness.
30 seconds.
Don't get me started on those
So
people.
they're so used to that. I think YouTube knows they can't give too many ads. But on desktop, or at least people who watch more, I think it actually tracks how, I guess, like your willingness stat as far as watching ads. I think it actually does. So I just want to contribute that. But you can, unless that was all you had to say.
I was going to say,
Not a
even
very
when I'm
meaty
not
rant.
watching a lot of just regular, like, YouTube videos, I still just, like, use YouTube to listen to music a lot. Because I don't use that Spotify. I don't sit through those ads or make those payments. But, like, music is the worst because what it is if like, it's maybe, like, more than one song, maybe you're listening to, like, an album or something, or just extended music, if you, like, leave a YouTube video, like, paused for long enough, even if there was no ad there to begin with, it loads an ad if you leave it sitting long enough at the place that you are. So you'll have to watch an ad when you start it up again.
I do know that.
And another thing.
Okay, are you? I'll say it after you're done then.
And another thing. I this is going to sound weird, but it makes sense. I ruin Jason's internet connection a lot. That, among other reasons, is why I try to intentionally disconnect from the internet when I don't
last
need it.
night it was terrible. Were you doing something?
Yes, I was.
10:30.
Yes.
What was it?
Internet.
What? Tell us.
I was looking at videos and memes and stuff. I've reserved my
You were
rights.
browsing the 4chan message boards, John.
No. You have this weird persona. of me.
Browsing Tumblr.
Tumblr. I actually may have
I'm
been
just
on
thinking
Tumblr
about
at
the
some
most
point this week.
Bottom feeding communities on the internet. Just kidding. If you like Tumblr, I love you. I love all people.
Tumblr is
I
just
hate
where I go to
anybody who
find
goes
art
on Tumblr.
sometimes.
No, the thing I just hate so much about Tumblr, every meme from Tumblr is just, you can't
Tumblr
find...
still makes memes?
You can't find... No. It's, like, on Instagram, 50% of at least the memes that I get on Instagram are Tumblr reposts. I have not ever seen a Tumblr, quote-unquote, Tumblr repost meme that is just a meme. It's always a meme, and then one response,
Dude,
one comment,
showing...
somebody saying, I literally can't breathe, I just saw this at work, and I'm peeing all over the floor, and they just had to get the janitor to come clean it up.
Great, Jason. You were just talking about being embarrassed in front of the neighbors.
They went in, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
But no, like,
But yeah, it's so
every
dumb, it's
comment
like-
is like that.
Just so you know, this is objectively funny, and it hurt me. It's so funny.
It's like the
now you can post this.
It's like, I guess it's just like full pathos appeal. They think if they see somebody reacting to it through text,
It's basically
just
never an improvement.
basically just spamming the keyboard saying, blah, 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 this is so funny, like people on Tumblr do. They're barely English-speaking conventions that they use. And apparently that just makes something funny instantly. But for me, that just retracts all
Do you
humor
think-
value to it.
Wait, I don't know how
Because
this
it's
works
like an
because I don't
overreaction.
follow anybody
Like,
or
I can
anything.
chuckle at
Do
something.
you think people intentionally attach these because they want to feel justified in that their meme is funny?
Yeah.
Like, see, look. it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like a seal of approval.
I'm trying to remember.
But dude, you know what's funny? You're talking about Tumblr being bad, but like you were saying that you found like a meme and you showed it to me. And you're like, oh, I thought this came from somewhere else, but it says it came from Twitter, so I can give it a like. And I was like, there are people who would see that something came from Twitter and they would vomit, because really you just like put up with what you put up with. But nowadays, like, it's not cool to like anything but yourself, and especially not something that's owned by a company or anything.
Well, I mean, obviously I was exaggerating by saying that,
Like.
but
You
But
give
it
Reddit
was-
a hard time because you left it. I don't care. I've seen Reddit stuff
no,
sometimes.
if you ask anybody, Reddit has changed in overall community. That's not to say everything on it is bad, but I think the community before was partially like nerdy, geeky people, but also some people who are just like similar to the Twitter population right now, which I know you don't know
I
anything
think
about.
every community in the world is just like if you had a big vat of vomit and then you put wrapped candy in it. There's good folks, but
I agree,
but
but
the bad ones are more like eye-catching.
But I think there's a higher concentration on certain sites, and when I think a lot of people moved from Tumblr to Reddit, I think that became a big shared community.
I heard that they moved to Twitter.
Yeah, where a lot of Tumblr people are on Twitter, but I just like Reddit just went from like nerdy, geeky, somewhat to like either full on like I don't want to sound mean, but like full on just boogers,
Those boogers,
slime balls,
slime balls.
That's
started calling me a
that's
slime
really
ball.
mean, but really, it's just like I guess really like no life gamer
The
stereotype.
greasy basement dwellers.
Yeah, but that's such a mean thing to say. But I guess,
Well,
in my opinion, that's what
at least you acknowledge it.
in my opinion,
That's the first step.
That's more of what the community has drifted to recently, which it kind of started like that, but to less of an extreme.
I mean, there are some objectively bad traits about
and
these
then
people.
there's a lot of like mega liberals. Not that I'm saying like I hate liberals.
We just don't like extremists.
But
That's the most you'll ever know about us.
a lot of the, I guess, slime balls, as I called them, are like mega conservatives, and I hate that as well. So it's just like
Yeah, see,
super
there it is.
polarized.
I hate polarity, says the guy who's like
Very-
probably bipolar himself.
What? Said who?
Said me.
What? I don't think I'm bipolar.
Oh no, I was talking about me.
Oh. Yeah, definitely. Next
You
topic.
thought I was talking to
well,
you
we
too.
can talk about
No, I
Corona
never
now.
finished though. I was just gonna say because
I never
what I
finished
do
what I
is I let the little gray bar load all the
Yeah,
way.
the sun's setting.
Yeah,
I
it is.
noticed.
It's pretty. Well, you can't quite tell. It just sort of looks dimmer because the clouds.
yeah.
But I let the gray bar load all the way, so then I can watch it even without the internet because it doesn't have to load anymore. But the thing is, if I let it do that and I actually listen to the song all the way to the end, if an ad plays at the end, I don't know why, but if an ad plays at the
It'll
end,
reload.
it resets the gray
Yeah.
bar. Why would it do that? So now I never let it reach the end before I disconnect from the internet. But every now and then it like tries to load an ad anyways, and then it just crashes the page because I have to refresh, but I won't have the internet. And it's just, I hate it so much.
Hello, bird.
And you reminded me because we were talking about social media and
Wait.
stuff.
First, I wanted to talk about Spotify.
Okay.
There are ads on YouTube too, like before videos, even if it's a music video. A lot of the times.
I know. I guess for me, it's just the fact that I can like at least listen to one
And
video
so-
over and over again without getting ads. Theoretically.
And so, in that case, Spotify is just a lot easier to organize all my music.
But then you don't even get to. It forces you to shuffle unless you pay. Or
No,
something like
not
that.
on the desktop though. That's what
Oh,
you'd
really?
be using it on. No, it's only on mobile because that's more
Well, then
widely
I'll
used.
stop judging you for using Spotify, but for me, it's still more
I
convenient.
never
to
use
YouTube.
Spotify on my phone, but on the computer, I would rather than making like 20 playlists on YouTube of YouTube music. That's just, it's like when there's a niche platform for something, it's typically
It
better
just-
to use that
It
rather
just makes
than
sense. It's more organized.
rather than the generalist one. Like YouTube works for that, yes, but it's more generalist, and Spotify just has more tools, I guess, that makes it easier and more organized to use it. And there's ads usually about like every 4 or 5 songs maybe.
I
And
guess I
there
just
could
have
be
this.
there could be an ad before every song on YouTube.
I guess I
So
just have
Spotify actually has less ads.
this animosity towards Spotify because I know that I feel like our younger sister, wastes money
And you
on
can,
her subscription or whatever.
Yeah, I would never pay for a subscription when you can listen to music
Our
in
sister
so
was
many ways for
currently
free.
taking a road trip through Corona Town, USA.
Which is a good lead-in to...
Well, first I was going to
Corona.
say Byte is dead because they added an anime section.
Did they really?
Yes, they.
It was dead
it's
before
there.
that, but...
I don't actually think it's dead because I think Vine was honestly
uninstalled
just as cringy back in the day. I think all these things are doomed. I
You
think
think
we're gonna
it needs to
honestly
be
when
reborn?
TikTok dies, I think the majority of people are gonna look back on it fondly, and be like, because all that's going to survive is the nuggets of gold, the few memes,
like Vine.
Yes, I think that's what Vine was too, and Byte is going to be that too. My real
But I
problem
still
with
think
Byte is
people that were already alienated to the community, which is, I'll admit at this point, very few, although I guess you and me would qualify, they aren't going to ever think that, especially because they're not familiar.
My problem is that Byte hasn't gotten its identity. They haven't even tried to copy Vine's identity successfully, which I'd be fine with, because it is essentially Vine too. Like I can describe what made Vines good, and no one's doing it.
What made them good?
Okay, so like the most memeable Vines are almost like if you could like condense an entire premise, like
Into that short amount of
yes,
time.
like almost like an episode of something.
Yeah, I was about to say
But
that
some
think...
of these are just people. They're not
Wow.
even skits, because some of them are skits too. A lot of them aren't even skits. They're just some sort of attempted visual comedy, or they're just, hey, look at this, it's pretty, it's cool. It lasts for 6 seconds.
I think I was about to say like maybe they would expand more if they didn't limit to 6 seconds, but then I thought actually
that's what Vine
that's
was.
kind of like, well, kind of, yes, it's identity, but I actually think there's a lot of interesting appeal to that because I think
I used to think it was 10 seconds.
TikTok is so addictive, I think, because of how short the videos are, and they are in as short as 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But I think they found the sweet spot in length where you can just consume video after video after
With
video
the unfortunate counter effect of people having more room to squeeze in some cringe.
without ever thinking. You'll just like watch 5 videos, and because they're each so short, you don't realize how much time you've amassed just watching stupid TikTok videos. And in my opinion, it's a social plague, but that's a story for another
Social
day.
plague, along with the real plague that's going on
And
right now.
don't be offended if you're
Pestilence is the
if you're
first
a
horseman.
TikTok if you're a TikTok man or woman, man or woman of TikTok.
Yeah, honestly, I know
I
so
am
many
here for
people who
you.
are on
I will-
TikTok
I'm-
who enjoy TikTok.
I'm helping you to get out of
I'm
it.
not bothered.
Comment down below.
Dude, it honestly
I
doesn't
can
bother me.
Text me. We can meet up. Not now. Social distancing, and that is a good lead-in into the coronavirus.
Dude, I honestly don't think TikTok is as bad as some
Oh,
people say.
Jonathan, every time I try to transition into the coronavirus, you're still talking about something else.
I think
People
if
clicked
we
on
were
this
younger,
video.
we'd enjoy it.
People clicked on this
And
video.
we'd just look past its bad points.
Shut up. People clicked on this video.
I'm just saying, I think it's an age gap.
Up.
You can talk about Corona now.
People talk. Okay. Corona.
Lawn
what about
chairs.
it, Jonathan? Yeah, my
What?
lawn
You were
chair
the one
is
who brought it
my
up
lawn.
again.
My lawn chair is
My lawn chair.
awfully noisy.
Oh, yeah, the reality of this is a lot worse than the fiction, by the way. We don't have a big table. We have a small one. I just wanted to have something to put stuff on.
It's a tiny table with lawn chairs, but Corona's over here, and it's kind of queer. I'm just kidding.
Dude. Dude, West Virginia is
I
the
made
only
that-
state
okay.
left that doesn't have anyone.
I made that joke to a
Ironically.
gay person, and they thought it was funny, so it's not, like, homophobic. That sounds as bad as, like, I have a black friend,
I have
so...
a black friend.
No, but I didn't think it was insensitive.
It's practically
Sorry
a
if that
pun.
was
You
an
just know that
insensitive
those
joke.
phrases exist, and you're making fun of the fact that
Based
they
on
exist.
Tumblr humor, I don't think you'd be offended by that. Oh, dang it, now I'm saying that all people on Tumblr are gay. Let's talk about the coronavirus.
Jason's secret negative aspects leak through. Accidentally cancels himself.
This lawn chair is really noisy. Why don't you get started talking about the coronavirus while I can't think of anything to
Coronavirus?
say? I mean, what were we going to say about it?
I mean, I'm not worried about it all that much.
Really?
I wonder if my professors would just let me pass all of my classes if I got corona.
This is the thing, though. Like, I'm not worried about it from a health point of view, if that makes sense.
You're worried about everything else.
For
like
all I
the
care, I
economy.
could have it right now. I know I just have the common cold, but if I had it right now, well, I wouldn't be doing this, but I'd be in bed with, like, a fever probably, but I would recover, right? It's not going to kill me. It's going to kill somebody older, maybe, which is unfortunate and bad. So personally, it's not something that scares me. But what does scare me is obviously our elderly population taking a big, suffering from this. But secondly, as I guess a civil repercussion, everything canceling, and economic too, the stock market crashing.
Everything is shut down.
Because, first of all, the travel industry dead completely for obvious reasons. I mean, I think I made this joke. I think the stock market literally got a boom from everybody buying the toilet paper in that one day, and then it went back down because...
I don't understand the deal with toilet paper.
People think that if they're stuck in their house for like a month and they run out of toilet paper, what are they going to do?
They think they're going to run out of toilet paper before they run out of food?
Well, they bought like bread and stuff too, most of them. But to be honest, I can't answer that. I've been thinking about it too, because I guess they're just afraid.
You're not gonna die from not wiping your butt. I'm sorry, people. That's not exactly the primary concern.
Like, I could go outside and if I really need to, pick up a leaf.
Maybe
and
the
wipe
world
my
is
butt
just full of people who are like our older sister and use half a roll no matter which number they go every time.
Even then, like, why do you need that much toilet paper?
Yeah, I mean,
I would be more focused on getting food. You're gonna outlast. Your toilet paper's gonna outlast your food supply.
Oh, by the way, PDP, that just stands for PewDiePie. I was gonna make a short remark saying how he left and came back over the lapse of the last episode.
Kind of like us. Wow, we're the same person.
We are PewDiePie. We fused together to make PewDiePie.
I really have to pee, but I contemplated...
I peed before we came out.
I did too, but I've been drinking so much water because I'm sick.
And Kool-Aid.
I'm contemplating having you entertain them while I pee in the woods. What do you think of that?
Do you think I'm entertaining?
No. But yeah,
well,
so
I was going to talk
about,
and you can go pee in the woods while I talk about it.
At least personally, for me, it's not a health concern. Personally, I know I'm not going to die from it. But I also hate when people just say, why are we getting so worked up? It's not like we're going to die. And it's like, people my age saying that. It's like, man, do you have grandparents? Do you have parents that are older? They might die if they get it. And, I mean, it spreads so easily that it's a possibility.
Yeah, I just don't like the social shift of everything.
But then
again, it does give me an excuse for the fact that I'm not getting anywhere in life, because nobody is right now.
That's the more concerning thing for me, is just everything being canceled, postponed.
This better not change the world forever.
I'm getting like secondhand stress for these people that are going to have to figure... Dude, so many artists, their tours, I've seen like 10, and I don't even follow that many artists, or musicians, I guess. I've seen like 10 announcements about tours being canceled already. Like, it's insane. And these people have to go on tour to make a living.
Dude, Tom Hanks.
And Tom Hanks has it, but he'll be fine.
Well, I hope so, except he's like in the upper age group that they say are at risk.
He's not.
But he is famous,
not that
so
old. He already has the vaccine.
he's like 50-something or 60-something.
Yeah, they said mostly it's like 70 to 80s.
Dude, I heard 60 initially, and then I heard people drop it to 50. So I think those people are just trying to be optimistic.
He's a sprightly man.
He doesn't look as much as he used to. But I'm not too concerned because I know he's famous, so all the doctors are obviously going to pay extra attention to him. I'm not saying this like you
Probably.
shouldn't or whatever.
But him and his wife have it, and they
definitely have money to pay for whatever.
Weren't super severe, so I mean.
Well, it's not like
even
you have level 5 corona.
But even for elderly people, it's not like they get it, they're dead. People with like
of course
asthma. Elderly people with like breathing problems.
I actually
like
feel kind of bad though, because I was thinking,
my friend has diabetes.
When I first heard about this, I thought something. I was like, I bet no famous person is going to get this somehow. And then just a few days later, Tom Hanks
was like,
and Tom Hanks is like one of the few celebrities I care about. So I was actually kind of like, okay, I feel bad for thinking
you don't
that.
care about him.
Yes, I do. He's like one of the few
He was in the Polar Express.
He was in Toy Stories 1 through 4.
Wait, really? He
Woody.
plays Woody, really?
I know you're just being. I'm
You'll
just
never know if
listing
I am or not.
role.
What were you going to talk about? That's not Corona. COVID-19. Make sure you say all the keywords so the video gets recommended. COVID-19, Corona, Trump, Donald J. Trump, Donald John
Are you having
Trump.
trouble not touching your face? I honestly don't care about that at all. That's why I'm staying here at home, so that I don't have to. I'm not going to change anything. I don't have a problem like touching my face all the time, but I will pick my nose without hesitation and then wash it later. Wash my hands.
Wait, so are you saying you're blatantly disregarding the
I'm
recommendations?
blatantly not caring. So I'm not trying to like be like, I don't care about the rules. I'm just like, if
Yeah, but then you're acting as a vector for the disease. That's what I'm saying is the selfish.
No, because I
No,
wash
that's
my
the
hands.
selfish mindset. If you contract the disease, now you can give it to somebody else. So if you don't care
I'm
about
pretty sure
dying,
people tell you not to touch your face as a risk of you not getting it. So if anything, I'm only putting my own self.
Exactly, because if you get it, who cares if you live or die?
But I'm
You
not
can-
gonna get it from picking my nose if I never even leave the house.
Yes, but if you're in a public situation, if you're at Walmart where 1,000 people just got toilet paper,
Then I will
and
be more careful.
You're swimming on the racks of empty toilet paper shelves, and you start eating your hands.
When our sister, who works at a store, came over, I was very careful about touching my nose and face and stuff.
Yeah, so then you're being that person who wants to be controversial but isn't. Guys,
No.
I'm not gonna actually follow the rules,
No.
except for I'm staying in my
Dude.
house at all times, so it actually doesn't
No,
matter because I'm
it's
not
just-
picking up the
listen,
germs from anywhere.
It's
yeah,
because
duh.
people have started making a meme about it, and I saw a funny video where there was some sort of government official who was talking about, they were listing off things that you should do, and they were like, don't start not touching your face. You need to learn to not do anything that will let the virus spread. And then they got to the end of the page of the speech they were reading, they licked their finger.
I saw that. I
Yes,
saw that.
that's
That was
the
fun.
best thing. And then
But no, for
someone
real- but it
replied
is
to it
se-
with like a montage of a bunch of people doing like the exact same thing, all
But
like
it is-
touching their face.
It is really serious. though.
hypocrisy.
And like, please don't interrupt me this time because you did
I
like
won't.
10 times before. But like, that's what I'm saying. The selfish thought, like, yes, granted, young people probably not. Even if they do get it, they're gonna have flu-like symptoms, whatever. They're not gonna die unless they have something like asthma or diabetes. But if you don't care, and then you go out, I know most people, if they're sick, they're not stupid enough to go out and go give it to other people. But you can carry it before having symptoms, after having symptoms. You don't know if it's in you. So the point is, no matter what, especially if you're sick, obviously, for any reason, sick with corona or sick with anything, because if you aren't tested, you wouldn't know. Just stay away from people. That's the whole social distancing.
Yeah, of course.
Because even if you don't even have symptoms, you could still be carrying it, and you're going to give it to somebody else, even if you don't care if you have it.
It is surprising.
You're giving it to somebody else, and guess what? They
Obviously-
probably care.
Oh, yeah,
or
I'm sorry.
if they don't care, they'll give it to somebody else who does care. The point is, you have to take it seriously, and I'm annoyed by people who don't. And I get it's
They're
like
dropping chemtrails to try and cure the corona.
it's like the whole like, oh dude, you care? That's kind of cringy. Like the whole
I hate that.
apathy is superior thing, which I know sometimes I'm a champion of that, but in this case,
Way to own up to it.
overreaction is better than underreaction, and I'd rather be safe and be cringy, caring too much, trying too hard to not spread the disease, than it becoming an epidemic that kills like 5% of our elderly population. Because guess what? 5% is a small number, but it's as a number, 5 is small, but it's not.
There's no value on a human life, bro.
Exactly. Anybody dying is sad. So
Now.
that's my piece on it. I think people need to take it seriously, and it's like it's the World War III thing. People got upset about people making jokes, and I'm fine with making jokes as long as it's not like seriously how you feel, and you're not spreading misinformation or disinformation
Or germs across
dissuading-
fellow athletes' microphones.
Oh yeah, that was. He apologized for that, so I forgive him. But
Oh man. But yeah, I obviously only have statistics to go off of. I'm not like some sort of
I only have
supernatural
6.
being. But it's surprising how much just isolation can like get rid of something like this. But it's also kind of a bittersweet victory if like we beat this virus not by finding a cure, but by just like waiting it out.
Shows American unity, and I think that's a thing that
But
we need right
I have
now.
an interesting question for you. So I made jokes about like anti-vaxxers like stepping in once they make a vaccine and being like, "You're handing out autism. Stop this."
Oh, will this be the end to anti-vaxxers, are you saying?
Yeah, I was thinking, would they really back down now, or would they be like, I don't want to die,
Or
I
like-
don't want autism.
or like
Autism
what-
is worse than death.
Well, what if you already have the virus? The vaccine's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I was also gonna say,
If it comes back as a seasonal thing, like
this
people
will be the first
saying
time.
it could be. Then
If this does happen, this will be like the first time that like a bunch of people en masse are gonna be like getting vaccinations as adults and stuff.
yeah.
And I just want to know, like, do the anti-vaxxers think they're just gonna, bam, wake up the next day, autism?
Yeah, right. That's what you said. You can almost disprove it.
Like,
by...
because you can't tell because normally you get them when you're young and developing, and so you can't always tell if your kid's autistic or not. Obviously, everyone thinks it's at birth. Sorry if you're an anti-vaxxer. We don't buy that.
No, if you're an anti-vaxxer, I mean, feel free to listen. But yeah,
I mean, flat earthers can listen too. I'm just saying.
There's a line where we don't care about political correctness when you're just wrong. that's I guess a big thing to say.
I was also thinking.
Come on, guys.
As much as everybody would want that vaccine.
I just said vaccines don't cause autism. Autism don't cause vaccines.
What if, dude, imagine, the guy who invents the vaccine to stop corona, he's autistic. Autism do create vaccines.
This is proven.
It works both ways.
That's a win for people with mental disabilities.
By the way, I'm okay with this one going longer since we haven't done it in several years.
My bladder is like twice the size.
I will let you pee in the bush.
Man, you gotta think of something to say then.
Okay, I was going to say, you can't do it for this part because it's a question. As much as everyone would be rushing to this vaccine if they found it, I was actually thinking, I would be scared. Like, if they just developed this thing,
they have to go through testing, which they've actually already started right now. In a population in Seattle, they've started testing.
Maybe it's just because I already do hate needles, and I hate that feeling you get, that sore feeling that you know is just from a pinhole in your skin.
No, but there is the possibility of, I guess, like, you contracting the virus if the dosage is too much for your body to handle.
If an undamaged
virus
body gets through.
But they have to test it pretty thoroughly, so I'm not concerned about that.
Dude, are you ready, though? Like, this could actually be hype. If you go and you pee behind that bush while I try and talk about it.
Man, that's facing the road. I'm going to pee in the woods, sure.
No. Okay, well, I was hoping you could still hear me.
Yeah, I'll hear you in the woods. You're loud.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Go pee in the woods.
Okay, what are you going to talk about?
I was going to talk about the fact that
wait, let me swig this Kool-Aid before I pee in the woods.
I was going to talk about the fact that, Your nethers are going to be cold, dude. Victory. It's a bit chilly out here.
My what?
Your nethers. Nether region.
My balls?
Yeah.
Way to put it nicely, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Could have said, like, nethers or something. Okay. You keep them entertained.
Okay, so I was just going to say, and this is fine because Jason's going to listen anyways.
There's a person out that direction.
Oh, my goodness, Jason. Compromised. Position has been compromised.
Can I pee in the...
Pee into the void. Open a portal.
Man,
this has become a plot in and of itself.
Why is this taking...
This is getting a timestamp. This is getting a timestamp for sure.
Pee right there, I guess.
Dude.
I'll pee right behind that big
Despite my background.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Why is this... It's like it's height... Oh wait. I almost killed everything. I almost killed the podcast. Okay. Well, on the topic of the podcast, I was gonna say... another thing that looks way better in there than here, the trees don't really have much leaves. It should be springing right about now. We definitely got ants in the house, but there's not much leaves. So there's actually not much foliage to lend to privacy.
But I didn't pee. There's
this
like
is hilarious. This endeavor of yours.
There's too many exposed places everywhere. Can I just pee inside?
If there was like actually a bush that you could like
go inside and pee?
Dude, I literally pee on that bush. Like pee away from the street into it. Or the one next to it, so I can't see you either.
There's people in those houses they can look at. What if they just look out of their windows?
There's not!
Ow. Well, I know they're not at their window
now. If you just unzip the front and don't, like, pull down or anything, they won't know. Yeah. They'll think you're just inspecting the bush.
With my hands, like, at my
Yeah, there are people who just, like, hold their hands in the front. Like, I do that in the back. I hold my wrist.
You're talking so loud about that.
No one's out.
Yes, there is one person right there. That's why I just said I'm not going over there.
This is hilarious.
Can I pee inside?
Pee inside? Dude, at first I was like, what do you mean pee inside? Pee inside your pants? I like the possibility of you going inside. Didn't register.
This is too much. I'll scope the premises, but if not, I'm just going inside.
I was just going to say, I've been programming too since I got back. Originally because my parents refused to let me treat this as a break now because the school's going to accelerate the college once we get back in, so they want me really working. I doubt they'll allow me to do much of anything more at this point. But back when this break was just a break, even when they still wanted me to get more work done because of the chance to catch up, I'm rambling. I was programming. I was programming my own game like Jason was. I did it before him. I did it before it was cool. And it's actually an extension of the engine that I intend to base all of my games that I have floating around in my head off of, because I have so many ideas. And the reason why I'm making this specific game is because it should utilize almost everything that I want to put into that engine. No one knows this game exists. I'm not going to show it to anybody. But I'm programming it. And Jason's scoping the area. But yeah, I want to finish it. I mean, finish is a strong word. I'm not going to finish the whole game, but I want to get somewhere I'm proud of.
I don't want to interrupt you, but progress update. The person I thought was a person is a dog.
Jason,
But-
this is the best plot twist
There's
ever.
windows facing everywhere.
I don't even have to pee, but I'll go pee. Just to show
Jonathan,
you
there's
that
windows facing everywhere. Literally
I
any...
would literally go pee behind a tree.
Jonathan, stop. No, I'm telling you, you're stupid and you don't realize, but there's windows from every angle somebody could see you peeing. Like, they could see your naked pee organs.
You make a shield.
Jonathan, I'm peeing inside. I'm not even gonna pee. I'm just gonna hold it.
What do you think of
Let's end this podcast.
I
with
used
something
to
that
hold
doesn't
my,
have
I
to do
used
with
to
me
pee
peeing.
once a day when I was a kid. I used to pee once a day, and I pooped once a week. You're a weakling. You're a loser.
That's an arbitrary number. You could pee a totally variable amount of times a day.
I could stay up till 4. You guys would be asleep by 11.
Yeah, Jonathan, everybody could push their body to extremes. But like,
Not
for
when
example,
we were kids. Not when we were
but
kids.
As an example, I probably peed like 10 times today just because of how much water I've been drinking. But
I wish I had as much control over my mind as I did my body.
If I barely drank water, like, you don't feel hunger or thirst, so yeah, if I didn't drink any water, I'd pee like once a day probably.
What do you think of my endeavors to make simultaneously games and music and all forms of art?
You know the answer, so I don't think you want it.
They're dumb, and I'm either going to die regretting it or archaeologists are going to bring it
Shoot,
up.
the monkey, I cracked the glass. Well, not cracked, but chipped.
Now it's rustic. It has battle damage.
This is now the Kool-Aid podcast cup.
Nice.
Because it has been damaged. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you said to them because I was kind of caught in the flurry of the moment of
speaking of what I was speaking of before, I'm working on a game that should utilize all
I suppose that's an angle that I could have peed.
I'm working.
Oh, that would be a good angle.
I'm developing my game engine that all my games will be based off of by creating a game that should utilize all aspects of it, so that as I'm developing this game, I fill in the whole engine. That's what I was doing back when I was programming.
Well, technically, no engine is ever going to be completely filled.
Oh, I know. There will always be game-specific stuff, but there's going to be a point where I'm like, yeah, this is my engine. This is what I'm going to base off of. Because, like, my old games that I started making parallel to each other, they have, like, old versions of this that I'm not satisfied with, and I need to, like, update them before I keep going. But
that's valid. Normally when I just end up giving up on a project, then I copy its engine into the next project if it has a similar engine, or I use a past engine that I've used in a past project, and so I just kind of progress them as I develop individual projects, and if they fail, then I move the engine to the next project, but I never just work on an engine usually.
Is that a plane or an alien invasion?
It's very loud, but it is a plane. It's funny because we can't see it at all because of the clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's like a military helicopter.
Wait.
Right there.
I see it. It's a
Helicopter. Okay. Yeah, what a way to end the podcast.
We're not ending.
I really have to pee. I really have to pee.
But the next part is all about you.
What is it? Go.
It's your ounce shirt scheme.
Oh my goodness.
I'm actually incredibly amazed by this.
Oh my goodness, I think I leaked. I think there'd pee in my undies.
You about to leak an ounce?
Buy my merch, bro.
But this scheme that you've developed schemes before. You're literally just getting a company that puts stuff on shirts to put stuff on shirts and then selling it like it's your whole brand.
Are you using scheme like a bad connotation?
Remember when you were like, what was it? You were like getting paid to do stuff for people like homework-wise or something.
That never
happened. Or you
happened.
compared it to when Dad was doing that. What was that?
That never happened.
You brought up this story about how Dad used to get paid to do people's...
One time somebody paid me $15 to do their homework, and that was such a large sum that how could you deny it? It was...
I would just never do that. It would feel so dishonest.
Yeah. I would never think about doing it. No, that same guy has like offered me like $20 to write an essay, and I immediately declined. Even for any amount of money, I wouldn't do that.
Because writing is the worst.
But this was IXL, and if you don't know what IXL is, it's basically, it was just like repetitive grammar problems. It was just like, put a comma in the right place. And it was like pathetically easy, and he just said he didn't have time at all to do it because he was busy all day, I guess.
Well, now he's an even bigger idiot because of you.
No,
because he can't even do that.
No, but that's the thing. He gained no knowledge from it.
I know.
He would have gained
but
no
now
knowledge.
it makes me feel bad that he got a grade he didn't deserve. But my
Well, it's not
extremely
It's not his
conformative.
fault if he didn't have time to do it.
Well, here I
sure
am saying I'm conformative, and I just had a discussion about how I hate conforming a while ago.
you should be glad I had pity on somebody who didn't have time to do something, because he probably had less time than you do for stuff that you say you can't do. So you would seem like somebody to support that.
Do you want to talk about how you started running?
We can. I didn't really talk about my ounce clothes because you kind of.
Oh, I thought you had this tone that when you're totally done with something, even when I don't
I
want
have
you
to
be.
pee, but I'll talk about it.
Do it.
I was wondering if by scheme you meant a bad thing, and I guess you do, which I'm not sure why.
This stuff I'd never think of.
This will change their mind. So my friend, his name is Cole. I've actually mentioned him on the podcast a couple times before, I think, mostly in a negative light, so that's cool. But we're friends. He's going to Africa this summer, or he wants to go to a trip to Africa this summer. I forget where he said, but I guess to just do various volunteer work, like, anything that they need, I guess. He was very nondescript about it, but it seemed like a good cause. So I was interested in the proposition he gave to me, which was a t-shirt design that he sent to me. That was terrible. And so I redesigned it, sent it back, and he liked it. And here we are now with multiple designs and a pretty professional-looking Instagram page. A not-so-professional-looking website because it's through Teespring, but this is just the beginning. I actually don't know how far this will go, but hey, it looks really cool, our clothes, so if you want to buy them...
Imagine you make far more money
go to the Instagram
off
account,
of this than anything YouTube or
go to
anything
the
like
Instagram...
that.
I already have.
Oh my goodness.
Go to the Instagram account...
Slap to the face.
At Ounce Clothing. At OUNCE Clothing. And check it out. And
I have
follow.
a feeling we'll be summoned for dinner soon, so let's quick talk about the running.
Okay. Well, that's him.
Oh,
Is dinner ready? No?
It's
Okay.
not?
No, but weren't you about done?
Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah, Jason has to pee.
No, we're fine. That was our father. I guess he's getting the mail. Anyways, yeah, I started running, I guess. I actually did like this whole personal...
He wants to build up his stamina because he's back into soccer now.
No, he got canceled.
Oh yeah, duh. Everything's canceled.
Which is a bummer, but it's okay because nothing
Dude, it's
can
sad.
stop...
I love coming to your soccer
Nothing
games.
can stop the fact that I had an inner, like a self-revolution. And so...
Self-revolution.
This is part of it, and I already missed some days, and I'm trying not to now because I'm sick, and I know that breathing in and out, panting hard after running is going to hurt my
Nothing
throat.
like extensive trip around town
But I'll
during
start
Corona times.
immediately afterwards. And I'm running a mile every day, and then I'm working out every day, or at least if my legs aren't too sore from running, which they shouldn't be. Amongst other things that are part of my self-revolution that I'll probably never publicly release, although I could in part discuss it maybe on a future episode. But that's at least one aspect of my social revolution that Jonathan has decided to partake in while he's still here with me.
Yeah,
he ran the miles with me.
Any excuse to do something with my bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
that's
ain't that
what this
sweet.
podcast is.
You want to go pee with me?
Yes, dude. I've said this before. This podcast is just an excuse to do stuff
Yes,
with you.
I want to pee with you. I've
Let's
said this
pee
before.
right now. It's like women. Let's go to the bathroom together.
In clans, in hordes.
The clan.
Well,
on a trip to the
that's
rest-
about it for this episode of the podcast, I suppose.
Yeah, I actually have more I could talk about.
But there's always... No, we're
good.
fine. There's always another episode.
Yeah, like there actually technically is potential for
Maybe
one.
the next episode I can talk... We really just wanted to get the Corona clickbait out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That was my reasoning anyway.
I'm going to end this by saying...
Subscribe so on the next episode we can talk about whatever mystery topic Jonathan had. My
No, because this is about
self-revolution.
this episode. It's
My
meta.
self-revolution. Whatever Jonathan's going to say now, he's going to say now, even though I was going to lead into it, but he just interrupted, so now the transition isn't smooth, but he can say it now.
I was just going to say, I guess this is what the little video descriptors are for. But if all of our other podcasts videos have been like on a scale from sweet to spicy,
This one is...
sour.
Oh, you finished
It's like in
my
a whole
sentence.
other direction. Were you going to say that too? It's sour, like the Kool-Aid.
Ow, oh,
without the
breathe
sugar.
in my face. I was going to say bitter, but I guess it's similar.
You know what?
I mean, not as like a...
You know what?
Not as a qualitative adjective, but just as an analogy, like you said, showing that it's in a different direction. Yeah.
You know what?
This is
We may have synesthesia.
Oh, I know, yeah. Where you attach things to the senses. Well, I mean,
More on that on the next episode
sure.
of the
Which
podcast.
might have been...
With a capital P
podcast
for Jason.
They have undergone a revolution just now today with this new style. I don't think it's that different.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
It's a little different. But
Let's go.
This is why I talked about the outside episode, and I also mentioned I'm happier when I'm outside. So all of the pieces.
Give this
of the
video a like
puzzle
if you
are
think
coming
my art
together.
has improved.
It has. Give it a like.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Speaking of flavors, this water is umami.
Umami?
Yep, your mom.
What did that dead squirrel you wanted me to draw on your desk fall in there?
You didn't draw it
I know, but now the world knows you wanted me to.
because it was in the water bottle. That's why you didn't draw it.
Oh. Layers, dude. It's behind there.
That sounded like the end of the Fanboy Chum Chum theme song. You can end it now.
If lemonade is just water and sugar added to lemon extract, then Kool-Aid is water and sugar added to cool extract. So the stuff in the packet is just concentrated cool.
Cool.